What's up, you guys? Sorry about that. I kind of felt like it was getting a little weird. So we're back. I was just on live just a second ago. And many of you guys were sharing. You were saying, Gabby, like real estate is awesome for you. I'm hopeful that you guys can hear me and see me. Many of you guys were saying just now, because we were just on live and we got kicked off and I'm back. Many of you guys were saying real estate is awesome for you. Great job to you guys over in St. Louis. But that is so far away from where I am. Currently, I can't even imagine buying a property. Somebody said it's still in and out. Lord, I'm telling y'all, we doing a live event in a couple of months. So y'all need to just come to the live event so y'all can get all these gems. Y'all need to just come to the live event because the devil be deviling it. It's still in and out. If you guys can hear me, give me some hearts. Because I don't know if we're going to be able to make this thing happen. The best service I have is at the office. I think it's because we're in a high rise. If you can hear me, give me some hearts. There's one heart. If you can hear me, give me some hearts. Just hit the heart. If you can hear me, because I don't want to keep having to say that. Kate, I didn't say anything. All I said was, if you can hear me, give me some hearts. I haven't said anything yet because I'm worried that you guys cannot hear me. Brandy said I'm good now. Thank you. Okay, Brandy, just throw in the chat when I start glitching. I may have to just jump on tomorrow when I'm at the office. Okay, so really quickly. Awesome. Many of you guys on the last live just said, Gabby, I love what you're doing. This is what I heard you say. Gabby, I love what you're doing in St. Louis. Awesome job. However, I'm so far away from real estate and real estate of investing that I don't think I don't think it's possible for me. I don't know if it's possible for me. And I don't know when it's going to be possible for me. Okay. Many of you guys said that. And I want to give you a couple of quick wins to think about, and maybe I'll think through some action steps that you can actually do. So the first thing that I want you to do is all of the convoluted information that you've gotten about real estate, 70% of it is jargon. Okay? 70% of the information that you have about real estate currently is jargon. It's 100% jargon. What do I mean by jargon? I'm basically just saying that a lot of it is convoluted information that you do not need. We need practical advice that is followed by practical steps. But then as the advice giver and as your coach, I need you to go execute. Okay? So right now I'm speaking to mindset. I don't want you to be content on where you are if your goal is real estate in the next 1 to 10 years. You can't be content where you are. You literally have to sever the cord to contentment. Okay? You have to be so sick of renting, so sick of living paycheck to paycheck, so sick of not betting on yourself, so sick of no one in your family not owning real estate. It's the first link in the bio. I think it literally says join my free call. It's the link in the bio. So you have to be so sick of that you start doing and moving things different, doing things differently and moving differently. So that's number one. If you are content on where you are, real estate may not happen for you. I'm going to keep it a bean. It may not happen for you this year. You have to really want this because there's going to be barriers. There's going to be things in your way that look like no's. There's going to be hurdles that you're going to have to jump. There's going to be documents you're going to have to mail in and people you're going to have to meet and people that say no. And yet, do you see what I mean? This is not going to be a slam dunk for many of us, but that's okay. Because you're going to have to go through some things to reset your mind on what is possible when you keep the main thing, and you begin to focus. Okay? It was only when I got sick of where I was no longer content. I was no longer happy. It is only when I became sick to my stomach where I was that I began to change my circumstances. And then I stayed focused and then I stay consistent. Okay. Now everybody can't be Real Estate Bae where you buy property every week and do all of these things, but you can without question buy your first or your next real estate investment or your first property. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to discover what your debt to income ratio is. Your debt to income ratio, okay? I'll save this live so you guys can go back and watch it. So we need a calculation of all of the debt that we have. You guys, I am only talking about the debt that is reported to your credit to the credit bureaus. I don't want you to write down Wi-Fi debt. I don't want you to write down bills. We're just writing down debt to income ratio. So some examples of these would be a car note, student loan payment. Okay, maybe you have a mortgage in a different, you have a different mortgage. We need the actual debt that is reporting to your credit bureaus. We're not talking about gas in your car, daycare, Wi-Fi, just the debt that is reporting to your credit bureaus, also your credit card debt. All of that is going to go into one number. Okay, then we need your current income that is being reported. There's some other things you can do when you know the right people. But right now, what was the income that you made? What year is this one? 2021. Your monthly 2021 income. Okay? Here's where I'm going to pause. 99% of y'all on this live have a side business. I guarantee it. 99% of y'all on this live have a side business. So what you're doing is you make $4,000 at your job, at your W-2 9 to 5, but then you make another $2,000 braiding hair. Okay, so your current income is really $6,000, but because you're not paying taxes on the side income, it's impacting your ability to be able to borrow from the bank. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that you have to start reporting all of your income so that you increase your buying power. You have to get an accountant. Some of these things don't overcomplicate it. You have to start reporting the income. If you averaged $2,000 a month braiding hair, changing oil, watching children, and you have a side business, you have to start reporting this so we can increase your buying power. Okay? So many of us in the Black community, we have these side hustles. We helping our mama over here. We helping our sister over here. That's just culture, right? Like that's just what we do. We help each other out. We let somebody borrow some money. We do it. But I need you guys to be a little bit more organized because what we are trying to do is we're trying to close the income gap. And in order to do that, we have to really report what the income is. Do you see what I mean? So y'all saying y'all real estate is far away, but does it have to be? Can we do these things this year? And can we buy our first door this year? Can we buy our first door in 90 days to 6 months? Yes, you can with the proper steps, execution, and being sick and tired of where you are so now you are creating change for yourself. Okay, so we're talking about the debt to income ratio. Okay, so we have all of our debts calculated. I have my credit card debt. I write it down. All my credit card monthly debt. So if the monthly minimum is $25 for 3 cards, you're going to write down 25, 25, 25. We're going to talk about our car note. If the car note is $250, we're going to write down $250. Okay? Do you see where I'm going? I'm only talking about the debt that is reporting on your credit score. Then we're going to write down student loan payment. If the student loan payment was $500, whenever they were taking the money from you, write down $500. Okay. Then we're going to talk about, what did I say? Student loan. I said credit cards. I said car note. And then we're going to talk about medical debt a little bit. It depends on who the lender is. But I want you guys to write down the monthly payments of anything that's reporting on your credit score. Then we're going to write down our monthly income. And we're going to do that math. We're going to divide one into the other. What you are looking for, you're looking for your debt to income ratio to be under, preferably 45%. 45%. Yes, right now we're still going to include the student loans because we need to prepare ourselves. We need to prepare ourselves to talk to a lender, and we want to know all of our numbers. Okay? You can also find debt to income calculators on Google, and it'll just do it for you. But you can just literally just divide on the calculator. Okay? So you're looking for the percentage. It'll say 0.45, 0.48, 0.49. you need your debt to income ratio to be under 45%. This is one of the qualifiers that a bank looks at when they say, can Gabby afford a mortgage? Can she afford a mortgage? Can Jeff afford a mortgage? Can Jamila afford a mortgage? Can Ingrid afford a mortgage? They're going to be looking at your debt to income ratio. This is one of the pieces that I don't think we talk about enough, and I don't think you guys realize the power of it. Now, let's say this real quick, and I'm going to jump off here in a second. Let's say the debt to income ratio is 49%. Let's say it's 49% and you have a credit card of $1,200. You have to start paying off some of those items on your, y'all don't want to hear this part. Y'all want me to just find y'all a house for 35 cents and then say, come on to St. Louis and here go your house for 35 cents. No, you got to work. You got to work, because not only are we buying houses, but we're changing the mindset. Do you see what I mean? Not only are we buying houses, but we're trying to sustain being an investor. If we don't have our house in order, how can we sustain investing? We have to have capital in order to invest, right? Or we're just running our mouths, or we're just throwing coins inside the pond and hoping that a dream comes true. No, we're talking about a lifestyle shift. I'm not going to give you some tools to start investing in real estate when you're not ready to start investing in real estate. So if that debt to income ratio is over 45%, so if it's 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, that means to a bank, boo-boo, you are living above your means. Let me give you an example. You make $10,000 a month, but you spend $6,000 a month. Okay, your debt to income ratio would be 60%. You probably would not be qualified for a loan at a bank. So we want to make sure, and if you are, those terms are going to be trash. Okay, so again, we're shooting for that 45%. I want you guys to do your own quick math, and if you feel so compelled, I want you to DM me your math. Say, hey, I did the calculation. I'm at 32%. What is my next step? After you have your percentage, many of us on here know our credit score. We know a general amount of the credit score. This is what I don't want you guys to do. I don't want you guys to disqualify yourselves and you're not a lender. This is what you guys are doing. You're saying, oh, well, my credit score is only a 650 and I only make 3,000, so I probably can't afford a loan. And I'm thinking 650, baby, you're doing real good. Do you see what I mean? You guys are disqualifying yourselves based off knowledge that you don't have. You don't have accurate information on what it takes to buy a home. So after you do that math at that 45%, you guys, after you do that math at that 45%, the next thing you're going to do, hold on. So let's just assume you have the 45%. Let's say, okay, Gabby, let's do 40. Let's do a 40% debt to income ratio. Gabby, I have a 40% debt to income ratio. What's my next step? Okay. I want you to know your credit score. So the credit score you're going to be looking for is not that high. I don't want you to disqualify yourself. If you have a 580, this is where I want you to start. If you have a 580 or greater credit score, I want you to write that down as well. So now we got a 40% debt to income ratio. And Gabby, I got a 590 credit score. Okay? So we're writing all of that down. Then, sorry, y'all, I'm trying to multitask. So what do we got? We got our debt to income ratio, and then we have our credit score written down. Those are the two things that we have written down. The very next thing you're going to do, y'all going to be mad at this. I know y'all like to tussle. Please don't tussle with me. The very next thing you're going to do is you're going to contact the lender. Woo, please don't log off this live. Please don't log off the live. Don't log off the live. Once you have your debt to income ratio, okay? Once you have your debt to income ratio and you have your credit score, you already know your debt, you know your income, guess what you're going to do next? You're going to contact the lender. Yeah, you're going to contact the lender this year. Because you're not going to DM me and say, well, I can't afford because who told you couldn't afford it? Who told you that? You? You not no lender. You don't have programs for first-time home buyers. You don't have programs for people who buy in certain zip codes. You don't have programs for first-time investors. You don't have programs for people who are women and Black and single mothers. You don't have you don't know. You don't know what you're disqualifying yourself. Let me tell you why. 2 reasons. One, you have fear. That's number one, you have fear. But the other reason why you're disqualifying yourself before you even get in the game is because you're not sick and tired of where you are yet. You ain't even tired yet. You want to keep living. Okay, because it's Sunday, because I preach. You got to be sick and tired. You got to be sick and tired. And guess what sick and tired? Guess what one of the fruits is of sick and tired? Is movement. Oh, I'm tired of standing right here. Let me move somewhere else. I'm tired of being right here. Let me do something different. Do you see what I mean? So there's going to be some homework. Some of you guys think that I'm just a magician. Y'all think I'm just going to wave a magic wand and then y'all just going to all have houses. No, you got to work, right? Because as a coach, I'm on the sidelines, you in the game. As a coach, I'm on the sidelines and you in the game. But if you don't grab the ball, if you don't get off the bench, how good is a coach if you don't follow directions? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I need y'all to do. Y'all got plenty of homework. Y'all think real estate is far away from you? It's only far away because you ain't moving towards it. Ooh, I'm preaching today. Girl, let me just go ahead. Ooh, that girl. Very gifted. I said, ooh, you only think real estate is far away because you're not moving towards it. Ooh, I love that for somebody. I love that for somebody. You need to give yourself, it's the first month of the year. Give yourself 180 days. And every day for the next 180 days, hold on, because I'm getting out of breath. Every day for the next 180 days, you're working towards real estate. How about that? I don't know why. Can you mentor me? Can you take me up the street? Can I come to same? No. Nope, I like workers. I work with workers. I work with high executors. I work with people who say yes. I work with people who follow direction. I work for people who don't count themselves out. I work with people who have faith. I work with people who pray. You not even doing half those things. You already counting yourself out. I don't like working with people like that. We don't do interns. No, I want to pay you. Can I intern with you? And can you mentor me? No, I don't mentor. I work with people who work. I don't want you to work for me for free. That's not what I want. Right? I work with workers. I'm dead serious. Right? Because being connected to me is a blessing. Me being your coach is a blessing. This is why I don't coach and take on just any client. You can't just try to book me right now. Try to get into the agency right now. You gotta go through me first. I gotta meet you first. I gotta feel your spirit first. I gotta hear your story first. Because many of you have an unrealistic expectation of what it means to work with me. So I can't imagine what y'all think it means to work with the lender. You have to show up, not for Gabby, but for yourself. So when you say that real estate is so far away from me, my question is, when's the last time you moved towards your real estate goals? Where's the last movement that you've had? Well, I don't know where to start. I just gave you 3 things to do. Okay? So many of us are, you think that you lack information, and you really are lacking execution. Some of y'all know you need to track your credit scores. Some of y'all know you need to pay down debt. Y'all know this. Some of y'all know you got to get out of the house and start looking for houses to buy. Some of y'all know you need to pay this person back, or pay that person back, or pay down your car. Don't buy that car. Y'all, this isn't new information to y'all. We live in an information age. That's why I'm pushing back on the idea that you don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You do know what to do. Stop telling yourself that. Stop telling yourself that. You know exactly what to do. As a matter of fact, some of y'all supposed to already be millionaires. God keep on giving you, I'm finna preach on this Sunday. Okay. Y'all gonna have to go ahead and throw some tithes in the bucket or something, because a word is brewing. Do you understand me? You guys know what to do. Stop saying that. Stop DMing me. I don't know where to start. Can you help me start? Where would you start if I wasn't here? Where would you start if there was no such thing as where would you start if you absolutely had to buy a house in 60 days or you would die? I'm preaching. I said, where would you start if you absolutely had to buy a house in 60 days or you would die? Some of y'all would be calling banks, calling realtors, calling people who sell their houses, knocking on doors. I need you to be that hungry. Those are the type of people that I work with. This is why we close a house every week. It's because we work with workers and we work with winners. Do you see what I mean? And I need you to be like, if I only had 90 days left, or my head would explode, how would I find a house? I bet you find a house. I bet you find a house. I need you to be that hungry. Do you see what I mean? So again, you guys know what it takes. We live in an information age. We live in a Google era, but we don't live in a place where I can hold your hand and you're a puppet and I can do everything for you. You have to execute. So I'm challenging you guys. The first step to execution is getting in the room with winners. I'm putting myself out there for free every Tuesday at 3. It's free. Just get in the room with me because I win at real estate, right? And so being in the space affirms your self-conscious that you can do this. We began to normalize the conversation on wealth building through real estate just because you're in the space, right? The subconscious mind begins to take down the barriers that have been built up over decades that you can't do this just because you're hearing me right now. And then you keep showing up every Tuesday. And then you start doing the homework, and then you start talking to lenders, and then you start paying down debt, and then you start cutting up credit cards, and then you just get sick and tired of where you are because you know you're supposed to be somewhere greater. And I know I'm preaching to somebody today on Sunday. I know that. I know that. I know that. So you guys got to definitely get in the room on Tuesday. Get in the room on Tuesday. Let's do a Q&A. We're going to be live together. It's more organized. We're going to do a Q&A. If you missed the call on Tuesday, if you have to jump off early, we're going to throw you over the replay. Okay? Because I'm a firm believer that many of us don't realize how close we are to real estate because you're not seeing enough people winning at real estate. Y'all following, I'm not going to do it on this day. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that to y'all. So again, I'm going to jump off here. What you're going to do are those 2 things I gave you. I think I gave you 3 things. You're going to do 4 things. You're going to do 4 things. The last thing you're going to do is join the call on Tuesday so that we can be together. I can show you my playbook. I can answer your questions directly. And you can be amongst people who are headed in the same journey that you're on. You're going to be amongst people on the webinar, the free training, that want to be where you want to be. And that proximity matters. Ooh. Proximity matters, baby. You start changing your circle, you start coming to a free invest. You may, this ain't, girl, proximity matters. Now you around somebody, you're like, damn, she was just in here 6 weeks ago. Now she looking for houses. She was just in here 4 weeks ago. Now she got 2 houses. She was just in here last month. She was just in here last summer. She was just in here last year. And now she got this. Proximity. Winners like to be around winners. I don't like to be around losers. Somebody just got offended. Are you a loser? I'm not, so I don't get offended by stuff like that. Winners like to be around winners. So I'm trying to create a space for you guys every week where you can come together, ask the right question, be told accurate information, and be told actionable steps that make sense for where you are and that get you to where you want to be. Okay? So period. That's on period. All right, you guys, I'm driving. This is mad unsafe. So I'm going to jump off of here. I'll see you guys on Tuesday and we will talk then. See ya.